Hello and welcome to our 9th video in our series on statistics. I'm Mr. Chowdhury and today we're going to be looking at stem and leaf diagrams. Now some of you may have seen stem and leaf diagrams before in science or another subject, but today we're going to be looking at them very specifically. So to start off with, we need to understand what a stem and leaf diagram is. Now a stem and leaf diagram is a way of representing data. So all of these stem and leaf diagrams here that I've got, the 3 stem and leaf diagrams that I've got, represent data. They can be heights, they can be weights, it doesn't matter what the data is currently. We're just trying to figure out what the key characteristics of a stem and leaf diagram is. So your first task is to look at these 3 stem and leaf diagrams and tell me what's the same and what's different. And the reason we're doing this task is so that we can understand that the similarities between all 3 of these stem and leaf diagrams are going to be the key characteristics. If things differ, it means it's not a key characteristics. But if everything's the same, the things that are the same in all 3, they will be key because they are the things that make it a stem and leaf diagram. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video, have a look at the stem and leaf diagrams, tell me what's the same, what's the different, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so let's have a look at the key characteristics. Now the key things in all of these is that every single one of these stem and leaf diagrams has like a stem section. So that's these numbers on the side. So the 1, 3, 4, 5 on the first diagram, 0, 1, 2, 7 on the second diagram, 11, 12, 13 on the third diagram. Okay, so we've got that. They also have these leaf numbers. So like the 1, 1, 2, 3 on the first row, the 1, 3, 3, 4 on this first row, the 4, 5, 8 on the second row there. So we know they have stems, we know they have leaves. What we've noticed also, one of the differences is that the one on the end, the third stem and leaf diagram, has double-digit stem numbers. So that must mean that the stem numbers, it doesn't really matter if there's single digit or double digit. However, for the leaf numbers, we can see that all of them have single digit leaf numbers. So that must be a key characteristics. They all have a key as well. That must be really key. So that must be one of the key characteristics. So let's have a look at what the actual key characteristics are of a stem and leaf diagram. So the key characteristics are, the key points that you need to take away. There must be a key. Without a key, we don't know whether the stem and leaf diagram is showing 11, 1.1, or something else. We need to know what it's showing, so we need to have a key. The leaf section must be single digit, so the bits on the numbers here, each of the rows must be single digit, and the numbers must be in ascending order. They must be going up. So for example, we start on 1 and end on 5 on the stem section, and on the leaf we can see it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. They're all in ascending order in the rows. So that is what a stem and leaf diagram is. So I'll help you out. So that's the stem, they're the leaves, or the leaf section, and that's the key. So if you want to quickly screen grab this or write that down in your books as a note, and then we're going to practice answering some questions, just drawing some stem and leaf diagrams. Okay, so here are 3 questions. All I need you to do is pause the video and draw the stem and leaf diagrams for me, please. Okay, so here are the answers to these 3 questions. So the first one is there. We've got 35, 38, 39, 41, 44, 45, 48, 50, 53, 55, and then we've got our key to tell us that the 3 and the 5, make 35. Okay, so here's the second one. Second one's quite interesting because we have some single digit numbers. We've got 5 and 9. So we just put a 0 there. 0, 5. 0 in the tens column, 5 in the units column. So 0, 5, 0, 9, 0, 9, like that. So there's the second one. We got our key to say that 1 next to a 1 is 11. And our last one, they're 3-digit numbers. So our stems need to show that. So they need to have, for example, 13. So 1, 3, 5. 13, 5 gives me 135, and so on and so forth for the rest of these. So hopefully you got this as your stem and leaf diagrams. Now you might be asking me, sir, why do we need stem and leaf diagrams? What are we going to do with them? Well, apart from being able to draw and read stem and leaf diagrams, hopefully this is giving you an idea of how to do that, right? We need to also be able to take averages from stem and leaf diagrams. Now, this is where we're going to develop our skills on reading stem and leaf diagrams, but also we're going to fit in finding averages from them as well. Now, here is some questions I'd like you to answer. So pause the video and answer those, and then in a second it will make sense why we answered these questions and how these questions help us find the averages. Pause the video, have a go. Okay, so let's try and answer these questions. Trying to find the smallest and the largest values. So our smallest value is going to be on our first row of numbers, and it's going to be the first number there. So that's 0, 5. So that's going to be our smallest value, 0, 5. Our largest value, our biggest value, is going to be on the bottom row, and it's going to be 4, and the last number in that row, which is 2. So that's 42, because we're using our key to work out what it is. 0, 5 gives us 5, 4 and 2 give us 42, so our answer is 5 and 42. Right? Are there any repeat values? Well, there are. So our repeat values are here. Right? Our repeat values are here. Now, you may be saying, well, sir, we've got 3 8s. We've got an 8 there, an 8 there, and an 8 there. But the reason they are not repeat values is because this 8 here represents 18. Right? 1 and 8 make 18. This 8 here represents 28. And this 8 here represents 38. Whereas over here, we've got 24 and 24. It's really important to make that distinction. So we're not looking for repeat values in the columns. We're looking for repeat values in the rows. So this row has 2 4s. That's the repeats we're looking for. So is there any repeat values? The answer is yes, and that's 24. It appears twice. Now, how many values are there altogether? All we need to do is count up our leaves. We count up our leaves. That will tell us how many values there are altogether. In this case, there are 14. And then the sum of the values, well, all we need to do is figure out what the values are and then just add them up. So our first value is 5, add 9, add 11, add 15, add 18, and so on and so forth till you've added up all the numbers all the way up to 42, and our total will be 348. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can start looking for averages. So the easiest average to find is the range. And we know the smallest value and we know the largest value. So we can work out the range. So we do 42 minus 5. So the range is 37. Okay, super easy to find. We can now find the mode. Now the mode is the value that comes up the most, the value that occurs the most. And I know that 24 appears twice. So that must be our mode. No other number appears twice. So 24 is our mode. Okay, now we're looking for our median. And there are 14 numbers. That means our median is going to be between number 7 and 8. So if I count my leaves, 7 and 8, there's the 7 and the 8th value. And the median is going to be in the middle there. So the median is between 24 and 28. So our median is 26. And lastly, we're looking for our mean. Our mean is the sum of the values divided by the total number of values. So if I do 348 divided by 14, that will give us our mean. Okay, so hopefully that's been helpful. And just to summarize before you go off and try some practice, here are the key things to take away from this entire PowerPoint. Okay, we can find averages from stem and leaf diagrams. That's really important to understand that we can find averages from stem and leaf diagrams. When we're looking for repeat values, we're looking for repeated numbers in the rows, not in the columns, in the rows. Okay. To find the total number, we just count up all of the leaf numbers, the numbers that are on the leaf section of our stem and leaf diagram. And to find the sum of the values, we add up what the leaf numbers represent. We don't just add up the leaf numbers, we need to figure out what they represent, what value they represent, then add those values together. So this has been a quick and short video on stem and leaf diagrams. What I suggest you do now, if you're feeling super confident, you go watch Mr. Amison's videos. If you're even more confident, you think I can do this, I'm completely happy, I don't need any more help, go and practice on Dr. Frost and Corbett Maths. Go off, be productive, and I'll see you in the next video.